Well, I think Madrid's going to win everything this season. Let me spoil that. So, Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey, the League, and the Champions League, which is not there, but I say it. It's quadruple. Everything. It's a must. Because of the time, but because it's a must. We are Real Madrid. We cannot be without trophies. So.
Okay, so these are your predictions. These are your predictions, not what you wish would happen.
It's a must. This is must.
I get that.
That's different than any other club. It's like, it's a must, Bobby.
I get that.
I want it or no.
So your let's say your reality and your fantasy are meeting in this prediction.
Yeah. There is no fantasy. It's a fact. They have to. Bobby, you don't really understand me. There is no option.
All right, here we go. Welcome everyone. Episode 18 of Madrid Merseyside Mashup. I'm one of your hosts, Bobby, and on the other screen we've got who we got?
Hi, it's Ricky. Nazar, Bobby.
Yeah, 18th episode. Welcome to our 18th episode. I'm not gonna do this every single episode. Like, wow, look at this. We at number 18, and then wow, we at number 20 is good. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be a nice one.
Yeah.
As always, thank you all for clicking and for joining us, for liking. Oh, well, we'd like you to. We'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribe. I think it would help you as well, you guys at home, to send you to the right type of content that you enjoy, as opposed to letting the YouTube algorithm just send you any kind of boring stuff. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join the community. We try to build something special here.
Yeah.
And ordinary is also special, just by the way. So it doesn't have to be, I'm not saying it's out of the world crazy, but yeah, people with like minds that can listen to each other and have fun.
Mashed up fun. Mashing mashed up potato.
You see, I was about to break the 2 minute barrier. I was about to make the 2 minute.
Keep it till 2 minutes, Bobby.
I was about to break the 2 minute barrier, but I promised myself that I'm not going to go there today.
Guys.
I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna keep myself well behaved.
Let's see how the discussion goes. Yeah, because I may not. Because guys, he's teasing me. Have an interesting topic for today, but Bobby's teasing Ricky already. That's promising, guys. Yeah. You wanna unfold what you're gonna talk about, or?
Yeah, indeed. We're gonna touch on some of the preseason games. Obviously, there's one that happened very recently. I must take that. It's funny how when we speak about preseason, when our teams win, then it's like, look at that, it's all great. And when our teams lose, it's like, it's only preseason. Everyone, I don't care who you are, every fan has got says that. You know, every fan says that.
There is sense of that. Yeah,
you know, it's only preseason. Today, it's only preseason.
Yeah, and it's so confusing, right? Like talking about preseason, it's a good point. It's so confusing. Yeah. Because we played as well now, and while I was about to get excited at the same time, just very quick, okay, Ricky, who's going to play actually when the season starts out of these players? And okay, you are not playing. And I'm like, okay, shake it off. You know?
Yeah. So that we'll go through some of the preseason games. Then one of our big topics for today is LaLiga predictions. So we've got a list of let's say awards or posts. Where we're predicting teams to end, who's going to be the best player, all these sorts of things. We'll both go through it. I haven't seen Ricky's. He sent it through to me, but I didn't take a look at it.
Very good.
Because he will go through that. And I've made a conscious decision. We've got this, everyone, we've got this shared file, right? We've got this shared file where we share our notes. And I'm always putting my notes there, like way beforehand. And then, before the episode's on, then I see changes there. So I thought, let me leave this one as a surprise. Let me keep these notes closer to me.
I told you, yeah?
Let me keep these notes closer to me. I think it's only fair. I've got no time to react. You've had time to read mine and prepare your reactions. So now we both going to be surprised.
Okay, we went over 4 minutes. That's about it, guys. We double it up. Now we unleash.
Yeah. After the Liga predictions, we go into some fantasy news. We're going to talk a little bit more and go more in depth about actually selecting teams and what the interfaces look like of the different tools that I use or the different websites that I use. So that's what we're going to be covering for today.
Yeah. Good, Bobby. I can't wait to pass the preseason part and get into it, get into your surprises, so to say.
Come on. I don't think there's going to be much of a surprise.
Good.
There's not going to be much of a surprise. I think I align with what most, let's say the majority feels where they go, but there are some places where I have to speak the truth. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
And my truth might not be yours. It might not be someone else's, but it's what's true to me. So you see, I even it out, and then I just threw this more spice thing.
You did good.
I gave him some milk to just simmer that hotness, and then I just threw some extra masala on his food without him looking.
This guy.
Woo!
Okay.
We're gonna mash it up now. Let's mash it up.
So, what did you guys play? Did you had a friendly recently?
Yeah, we played this last night.
Oh, really?
Finally, there was a game that we could that wasn't after midnight. It was 9 o'clock, I think, 9 or 10. We played against Leeds.
Oh, that's good.
It was the first game that I watched. All the other preseason games we played against Sunderland, we played against Wrexham. Those games, you're just watching the highlights. And similar to when we did that during the World Cup, there's only so much you can get from watching the highlights. So taking everyone back to last season, and I'll share my experience of, sitting in front of the television, but not really watching the game. Playing on my phone, playing backgammon, like 20, 30 games I was playing during the game watching. Because why? Because it was so boring. Because it put me to sleep. Man, first 5 minutes, I'm like, what is this? In all honesty, it was like it was a shock to the system. It's like when you really, you're out in the summer heat. Those of you who are in our area or geographically close to us, in the northern hemisphere and experience the heat. When it's a really hot day, but you're getting to the pool, and the pool is really cold. It's not like a 24, 25 degree pool. It's like a 18, 17 degree pool. It's cold. So you get in and your system gets shocked. But as soon as you're staying there for a while, it's like, this is wonderful. So that's the experience that I had yesterday. It's like, it was jumping in to a cold pool and like, what is going on? Because I didn't recognize this from what I've been watching for at least half a year. And then I was like, but this is what I like. There was a lot of balls being won high up the pitch.
Nice.
The intensity was there. The intensity that was, the man that I have faith in, and I know he's a good player, but was irritating the shit out of me last season. 8 minutes, 30 seconds.
Good,
Dominik Szoboszlai, who was last season, whenever he got the ball, was passing the ball backwards. Now was making progressive passes, and he was running the show. Exactly what I expected from him last season. Very much forward thinking. Rio, he's still got a lot to learn. Still got a lot to learn. Man, it was a tale of two halves. Let's put it that way. Because there were different teams playing in each half. Kind of. The fact that they still talk about Liverpool not signing a centre back, I cannot see how that's a possibility. Yes, we don't have Joe Gomez. I mean, Joe Gomez is injured.
Yeah.
Yes, Leone is not he's still coming back from injury. Yes, Jacket was not there. Yes, Virgil is not there. But defensively, we were poor.
So who played the defense? That's a good point. You just named all those that are not there. So who were the central defenders actually during this game?
Probably no one that you're gonna see play. So all the youngsters, a lot of youngsters. Okay. Even though,
but they did good.
Yeah, the one scored a goal. Scored a goal. He scored the opener.
Okay, good.
But it was also poor defending from Leeds. But yeah, in general, it was a preseason game. You could see it was a preseason game. They were, just these small passes not really being completed from both teams. First half was 2-0 to us. Second half, final result 4-2 to Leeds. Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring 2 goals from the second ball.
He's back already. That's a big difference. Yeah. Their number one striker played already. He's good.
And he's on penalties, and we'll be touching on him when we talk about fantasy.
He's on my list though. Yeah.
Only 6 million. Only 6 million. There's a lot of 6 million. Out of the 6 million options, he's probably the number one in my opinion. Good. But the biggest positive for me, out of what I've heard and what I've seen over this preseason, is Trey Leone. Man, this boy in the midfield, not to say that he's the solution, and not to say he's going to be the answer to what we need, but he hasn't given me anything to be concerned about with him in that position. You've got Bachetic who's coming back. That's, for me, that's kind of two still youngsters.
Yeah.
And you can't have two youngsters like that as kind of your two options in midfield. You're setting yourself up for failure. Wirtz started his first game. Had a good game. Him and Frimpong. You can see the relationship. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious on the field.
And how played Frimpong? Played the right back or more like?
He played right back.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was one of the goals. Frimpong assist Wirtz goal. Really, I thought it was a good goal. Isak also started. Saw some good touches from him, as opposed to waiting 50 minutes for him to get a first touch back in the day under our old regime. The guy was actually involved. A couple of heavy touches, some really good touches though. Balls being fizzed into him at his feet on the edge of the box, and his really, really good first touch. Lukaku would have kicked that ball, into a different state if he got the ball like that, or you'd have probably missed it. But
that's
bad result. Defense is our problem, big time. Yes, we need the wingers to come in, and we need more attacking options. But defense is critical. Defense is critical. But like I said, the big takeaway, the big positive, Trey Leone, wonderful. I mean, over the past couple of games. No, I don't think so. Okay. But I mean, he's from the academy. He's from the academy. A lot of kids from the academy were playing. And they didn't do themselves any disservice. But it's the defense that's clearly the issue.
Yeah.
And Iriola. Oh, I must mention Kirkes as well. Kirkes had it was so nice to see him make overlapping runs and actually get fed the ball as opposed to him making those runs for no reason at all. Just the left wing cutting in and just letting him run past every single time. He got the ball and he got crosses in. I'm expecting good things from him. It's like I said, I look at the positives.
Shake him off. He's a player I anti-bias in your team. He's the only one. Shake him off. Shake him off. Kerkez.
Yeah, it's like we were saying during the World Cup. You shake off Ronaldo, but then who do you play there?
Yeah, no, you're right. Like in this case as well. Like if we shake off Kerkez, who to play? Yeah, 100%.
Costas, as much as I love the Greek guys.
As you say, exactly, the Greek guys, and I like how you like it.
Yeah, he's
man.
Not. He's. No, I'd rather have Kerkez.
Yeah,
I'd rather have Kerkez starting it. But he looked good. He looked really good.
Okay.
He looked really good.
Yeah, because end of last season, he didn't look good. So
most of last season, I mean, he was running for no reason at all.
Yeah, man. Like he kept open the left flank constantly. Like he went forward and then not even checking properly back. So yeah, let's see. So it's good to hear what you say.
Yeah,
that's good to hear. It's promising.
I mean, from the Liverpool side, that's about it.
Yeah,
there's
you watched the game. That's big progress, Bobby. You watched the game.
I enjoyed watching it. Well, the second half, maybe not so much.
That's important.
The second half, maybe. It's baby steps. 45 minutes. Maybe next time. Maybe next time I'll 45. Watch. Yeah, maybe next time I'll watch the first half and maybe to the hydration break in the second half. And that was wonderful. Being able to watch without any hydration breaks. Oh goodness.
Oh, this is interesting.
I forgot what that felt like.
You see, that's interesting now because once now I take over, I have actually a point on that one. Glad you called this out because Madrid played now on Saturday a friendly game. Okay, I think I can take it because in our part of Central European seasoning now it's really hot because they had a hydration break on the friendly game. But okay, it was 38 degrees in Austria, in the mountains. So like that condition really calls for it. Yeah. So I'm hands up on it. Yeah. So there are really like weather conditions when you need to stop for a bit.
Yeah.
But the Madrid game had the hydration break. Madrid played Bobby against Fiorentina on Saturday. They had, so to say, the first official preseason game because before that they had two other games, but that was like behind, so to say, closed doors in Madrid on a training pitch in Castilla. The result ended up in 2-2. Well, when I look at players who I'd like to see and how it was, I'm going to put it this way. This is Mourinho. Yeah. Friendly game, Bobby. 42 fouls on the game. Bobby. 42. Friendly game. 42 fouls. I'm watching and I'm like this. You guys are nuts. The season didn't even start. Why are you going slide tackle? You know? Bobby. Like it's literally like, let's get ready to rumble. Bobby, when the season starts, this is crazy.
MMA,
MMA, Bobby. These guys slide tackling like the way, going in, doing the dirty stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, I came in to watch the game relaxed. Yeah, because I understand what is preseason. And just after a few minutes, I was nervous. Like, why are you slide tackling? And, they started to tease then Fiorentina. Like, they got, hyped up, angry. So it's turned into a rivalry game for no reason on a friendly game. Of course, fans, everybody loved it. They got a proper entertaining. And what I see on the sideline, when a camera goes in, Mourinho even more like just doing this. I'm like, oh no. My goodness, what's going to happen in the season when it starts?
I think this is going to, and I know we're not talking transfers today, everyone, because we spoke that on the last episode, and there's going to be we wanted to wait a week, but I mean, even over the weekend, there's been some noises, But I think do you think this will be kind of like Vinny, come stay and come and box with us? You know, come and come. You know, put on your gloves. You know, never mind your boots. Leave your boots there. Put on your gloves. Let's play.
Oh, I don't know, man. Like seeing all this, what's gonna be, and the way they need to play. You might be right, but at the same time, so it's just the style. But again, a lot of players were not there, so I cannot really make an opinion. But there are some players that I can make an opinion, like Camavinga. I have to call out Bobby. No good. Not good. Losing balls, the way he is controlling the middle is not good. So like there is no faith in him. And the coach and everyone in the club tells him actually that they do not expect him to play a lot this season. Like that's not the expectation of the club, but he's stubbornly refusing to go. Right. So that and we now have a problem. It's not to go into transfers, but as much as we are doing a great transfer window so far, which it is great, we have 25 players, my friend.
Like get rid.
You know? So before anybody else coming, we have to get rid of it.
You see, you're having the opposite experience to us. We're getting rid, but we're not bringing in. Which is like, go. Don't worry. You guys go. Everyone just go.
So yeah, there is that problem now. You know?
Yeah.
There is that problem. So Camavinga is to want to call out like that. And he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't like. Carlos Espiardi played. The newbie, very good. He's promising. Hendrik played, very good, promising, scored a goal. And Guler is my man.
I see so. Yeah.
Guler, he's the one. Even like what I expect he was doing, like he finds these little tiny spots the way it was the ball.
I'm wondering if Guler and Bellingham were in front of you, which one you choose?
No, don't do that to me. Yeah, but you're right. I wouldn't be able to choose, to be honest. Because I like both. You know what's the difference good as well for Guler and for the midfields? You may know him. Because in coaching staff of Mourinho, there is Sami Khedira.
Yes.
Sami Khedira, who played for Real Madrid.
Defensive.
Defensive
midfielder.
Exactly.
Defensive midfielder.
Sami Khedira, who played for Real Madrid and for the national team of Germany. Yeah, so he is part of the coaching plan. But originally, his mother language is Turkish, by the way, as well. So that's another good connection there for Guler to take care of and everything as such. So that's on the friendly game. Overall, a very intense, high intensity. But as you said, like something similar happened in this game. 2-0 Real Madrid halftime and 2-2 in the end. So they went high intensity the first half, and I could see the change in the second half. That the gear was lower. They couldn't actually keep up the same tempo like in the first 45. So not an excuse of no condition, maybe yes, but definitely it was not the same. As soon as the other young guns came in as a substitutes, the tempo changed. The tempo was not the same.
Yeah, I mean, I would. You see, I guess it's a little bit tougher for you guys or for the Spanish teams because, especially, you know, they were in the final. The Spanish team was in the final, but a lot of the players who played for the big national teams went quite far into the World Cup, and they starting a week or 2 weeks earlier than the Premier League. So you know they don't have as much time to spread that conditioning over. So they're going to have to increase that substantially over the next week because is it this weekend?
Next weekend, Bobby. Next weekend starts already.
What date is it? The 14th, no?
14th is the very first game. I think that's Friday.
Or is it the 15th? I think it's the Saturday. I don't think this game is on Friday for
normally we do have, but maybe just for the first weekend, maybe not. So there is going to be 15 for the first weekend.
Okay.
But luckily on that point, like some of the big guns, like Barca, Atletico, Bilbao, Real Madrid, they got an extra week break. So they are not starting next weekend. The rest of the league starts next weekend. So Barca, Atletico, Bilbao, and Madrid only starts the following weekend. No, you cannot say come because you build this up very nicely because the players are coming back late, yes?
Yeah, but why only those clubs? Just let all of the clubs go.
But the others didn't have a national player.
So is it basically every team that has got a national player, they play the next week?
At least 3 national players. If you had 3 players at least from your in the club, those teams got a chance to postpone for another weekend.
Okay, I guess it's not that bad, because if you think that those are the teams, you're not going to be playing against him.
Yeah,
but she was, man. That's just an administrative nightmare trying to now figure out
problem.
where the game's fitting and all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
You're just asking for you pay.
Correct.
I was gonna talk about Spain sickness leave. It's like you're creating a problem. You're creating that. Sorry, guys. That's out of context. Don't worry. Let's go on to the predictions.
Let's go.
Because I want to make sure that we give enough time to everything. We've had enough time. We've had good time now about the preseason. Give enough time to the predictions, but also give enough time to the fantasy. Seeing as you know everything better, because you know much more about the Spanish league. I'm going to go and you can just have your reactions.
Okay.
But I will go through it, and then you can go through yours. So 2026-27 season, the Liga predictions. I'm not going for your team. I'm going for the team you don't like. I'm going for Barcelona. Champions League qualification, could be top 4, top 5. I don't know. Is it top 3, 5? Well, I've just put down 4 here, which is actually I've put down 5. It would be Barca, Madrid, Atletico, Villarreal, and Real Betis. Woo! Comment on that?
Interesting, you left out Bilbao. Good, interesting. I'm not saying this is bad. It's very interesting.
I'm taking, There's I don't know enough about all the teams, so I had some help in getting these information. Or getting this information, I had some help looking into it, but young player of the season, I was kind of stuck. In all honesty, what is it? What age does that go up?
23.
23. So I know your man is there, right? I know your man is there, but I haven't put him in.
Who is yours?
I haven't put him in there. I don't know which one of the 3 that I'm going to that I think will be, but it will be between Yamal. I think that's obvious. Kubasi and Hendrik. I don't know which one of those 3.
Hendrik?
Yeah. One of those 3. Player of the season, I think I'm going to leave that to the last. I think I'm going to leave my player of the season to the last. Coach of the season, and that it's going to have to go, because I've chosen Barcelona as the winner. It's going to have to be Flick.
That goes together.
If it was Real Madrid, then it would have been Mourinho. Yeah. So that's because I've gone Barcelona. I've had to say, okay, well, it's Flick, and then obviously team of the season, it needs to follow the same. I mean, it would be illogical for me to say that Madrid or, well, I mean, there could be a team. Let's say.
But when you talk about team of a season, I need your first 11.
I don't have a first.
Next time we need a first 11 team of the season.
Okay, otherwise, so then I think we misread. We misunderstood that. For me, the team of the season is which team was the best of the season, not like you had team of the tournament.
Well, that's logical. No, that's easy.
For you, it might be logical. For me, it was which team is going to be the best team that's performed over the season. Which I put as Barca, but it could be some. There could be surprises. You could have someone in the middle of the table that's ending up in a Champions League spot. You could have one of the newly promoted teams.
It's different because team of the season is more interesting to predict who we think is the best 11 versus team of the season. Yeah.
I'll add that in, and we can touch that in the next episode.
Yeah, let's keep that part. Yeah.
Then relegated teams, I think that for me that would be easier. It would be the same teams that are coming up. I don't see. I think that's in most leagues. It would probably be that way, especially with the amount of money that the other teams in the league already have from the season before. I don't know what the difference is from League 1 to League 2 in Spain, but there's a big disparity between sponsorships and money from the footballing body. So it will be, what's it, Santander?
Racing.
Deportivo, even though I'd like to see them there. I mean, I think they're one of the better known names. That's been out. Yeah,
one of the oldest club in La Liga.
Yeah. So Deportivo La Coruña, and then Malaga. Those are the three teams coming up. I think the three go straight down. European competition. So those who qualify for European competition, I didn't specify the different competitions, but Celta Vigo, Deportivo. No. Yeah, Celta Vigo, Sociedad, and Getafe.
Okay.
I'll put those as the qualify for the remaining European spots. Copa del Rey, I've got Real Madrid. Yeah. Spanish Super Cup, I've got Barcelona.
Shake it off.
Pichi Trophy. Huh? What's that?
What's
it? Pichi Trophy.
Pichi Trophy. Yes.
Yeah, it's Mbappe. I think it's obviously Mbappe.
I think so.
Although Lewandowski and Alvarez might be in with a shot.
Oh, Lewandowski is in America.
Is he not? Is he gone?
Yes.
Is he not? Yeah. So then, best way to win, eliminate your competition.
That's it.
Right? Eliminate your competition.
He's on the best.
So we'll keep these bits of information. Yeah, must make sure that we save it. Yeah. Goalkeeper or Golden Glove. I think the goalkeeper that has been he's there's some divinity running through his veins. There's just no way of getting past this guy. If he can stay fit, I'd say Courtois would be the Golden Glove.
If he stays fit, yeah.
Ter Stegen and Oblak, of course, those are other two big names that are in contention there. But like I say, if Courtois stays fit, then he's the man. And now we come to player of the season, this is where the honesty comes in. I can't give a player of the season. And why I can't give one is because I don't know what the qualifying metrics are, the qualifying what are the requirements for that, right? For me to choose the player of the season, I look at statistical data. I look at who's had the most involvements, who's been influential. Also watching like who I see that's making an impact in the team. Match ratings go towards it. You've got these guys at the end of the matches, you've got different things, and you see the match ratings, how each player rated. Because during the World Cup, none of that mattered.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I would use to kind of gauge who the best player was. I mean, we look at 2 seasons ago when we had someone who had all of those things, but because they didn't win Champions League trophy, discounted for Ballon d'Or. So, I need to train my eyes a little bit more to, because as they say, my eyes aren't trained to understand why. So I don't understand that nuance there. I don't understand why. I mean, I look at, like I said, triples, goals, and assists, but that doesn't necessarily equate to the player of the season. If I go according to logic, and how I think they chose maybe the World Cup, even though it's UEFA and these guys are fighting, which is a completely different topic, which you can get into, then I would say Ronaldo Araujo would be the player of the season, simply because he's the captain of the team that I predict to win the league. That's the only logic I can find. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting predictions. Not much controversy, actually. Like I have to say. No.
Yeah.
it all makes sense, so to say, why he selected them. So,
I mean, you can. I think you can understand from someone who doesn't watch La Liga
yeah, still
to make
pretty good.
to make
Yeah.
these predictions.
Yeah, really. So not far from it. Good.
Let's hand it
Well,
over to you and see what.
yeah. Like
I mean,
the winner. I start from the top. Yeah.
is it going to be a surprise? I
No,
don't think so.
it's going back to the white. Yeah, finally. 2 years we didn't win the league,
So why are we going to bring Racing to it then?
it's cannot be.
It's
Three seasons without winning the La
it's-
Liga cannot be. We have to. It's like not even a bias. It's like it's a must. Yeah, Madrid must win it. Yeah, Madrid must win it. The Champions League qualification, the top five, and I'm gonna tell them in an order I see them finishing. So first Madrid, second Barca, third Atletico, fourth Athletic Club, Bilbao, and then fifth Real Betis. This is the first three why I see them. It's just because historically, like let's say because I talk about let's say the Europa League qualified, like let's say Villarreal and there is Real Sociedad, then though those are good when it comes up a season, but soon as they have a season, let's say, like you see probably in the Premier League as well, but soon as they play Europe, then actually in the league they're not going to do that well. Yeah, they have this history of not doing that well. So that's why I see, let's say, Villarreal finished really well. Let's say last season they were, I think, third in the league, like amazing. They were above Atletico Madrid, but now they play again Champions League. So I just do not see that happening because what they did last season, they played as well Champions League, but they were one of them. They finished 27th in the league phase, something like this. So like not even a win in 8 games. So probably they want to try to do better there as well. So,
sounds like a team that I'm familiar with.
you love this part, yeah? I gave this to you just like
add it in there quickly.
Yeah. So it's just that I see historically that these teams are not comparing the two sides. So they may give up on Europe and play the league, but being in Europe now, that knowing that how they played last season, I do see them doing better this season. Hence, I just don't see, let's say, Villarreal and Real Sociedad in the top 5, but they are the next in line for me. Villarreal and Real Sociedad for Europa League, aka Conference League, right? Because that's the difference. If we can have in La Liga now 7 or 8 teams playing Europe next season, it's up to, let's say, who wins the Copa del Rey. Like, let's say, if the winner that he wins the Copa del Rey is already within the first 5 spot for Champions League, then just automatically gives it to the next spot, right? So that's the only thing that can impact it. So because of that, I put the 2 teams as a Conference League, right? Because 7 or 8. So I just want to make sure it's there. So because the 6th and 7th is Villarreal and Real Sociedad, right? So if it's 7, then Real Sociedad plays the Conference League. But if it's 8, then my 8th team is going to be Espanyol. I put Espanyol as the 8th team. They started really well the last season. They were in a Champions League spot, but then the second half is was one of the worst I've seen by far in La Liga. But they have a good owner now. They have money. They are investing again in the team as well this season. So I do expect them to do well. Again, not saying they're going to finish in top 5, but being around the 7th, 8th position is something I do expect from them. So that's on the spots. Young player of the season. That's going to be Arda Güler, yeah?
What? I was sarcastic.
That's going to be Arda Güler. It's just basically knowing Mourinho. Like, if it's another coach, another system, I wouldn't choose Arda Güler. Let's be clear. It's not that I see him as the best player out of all. I see him fitting well in the system that Mourinho brings. That's why I choose him. And let's say not if I look at midfielder, why not then choose Bellingham? No, because of the system that we will play, I do see him playing well, right? And why? Because knowing Mourinho, Arda Güler is meant to be the new Özil in Real Madrid. The position that he will get, that's it's meant to be the new Özil. He will have all the freedom to make sure he gives those passes, that those passes comes through, because the way he gives, he is not a good in tracking well, but the passes and the creating chances and assists, there is nobody better in the squad currently in Real Madrid than him. And knowing the additions that we have now as an attack that we will have in Diomande and Carlos Espi and Endrick as well being back, more finisher, I do see more passes converting into goals. Yes, I do see him being the young player of the season. Why young player? Because he's still young. While before I go, just a note there for the last year young player of the season was Carlos Espi. The guy actually just came to Real Madrid. Yeah, just for everybody's knowledge there. Player of the season, you may get surprised. It's Arda Güler. Arda Güler, because honestly, first I looked at him as a player of the season, but just that he is young, that's why I put him as well the young player of the season, not vice versa. Right? So I see him being the player of the season. But if he is player of the season and being young, that's I do think so. Automatically makes him the young player of the season as well. Last year it was Lamine Yamal. Yeah, last year player of the season was Lamine Yamal. Again, why? Because he had contribution on both ends. Yeah, the amount of goals he scored, but he had a really good amount of assists as well. He was double digit in both. So he really had a good overall La Liga season. So
no, that's interesting. Because sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I'm just it's interesting because that's exactly what I said. I was not going to be using to gauge who's going to be the player of the season.
So it contributes. Like that's how it goes. It's not like, let's say, for example, the Pichi winner is it's very rare actually that the Pichi winner is the player of the season, unless it was Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, because they got 50-60 goals. So their overall goal contribution is 50-60 goals, right?
Yeah.
But let's say
goals and assists, goals and assists.
Yeah.
But
Lamine Yamal had more overall contribution than Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's played in him to win the Pichichi, not the Pichichi, the player of the season, and deservedly so. Like there is.
I mean, you can win these. You can win these awards also with not doing those things. I mean, it's happened so many times. Ballon d'Ors and stuff. You can win with that stuff.
100%. Yeah. But I had nothing to say. I agree with that one. Coach of the season, Mourinho. Specifically, if we believe in the league, because we had 2 dry seasons, no trophy at all in 2 seasons. So if he wins the league this season, that should bump him up for enough good reason to be the one that actually is going to be the coach of the season. Last year, needless to say, it was Hansi Flick. Yeah, Hansi Flick won that. Relegated teams. You had an interesting approach, and I can disagree with that. I would have gone with the same, but I did change that up. So I have Elche, I have Racing, who was the one coming up, but I have Levante. Why I put in those and not the other two? Because Elche and Levante actually selling out their best players. For example, Levante just barely kept above, staying in the league last season. Why? Because they had a player called Carlos Espi, the young gun who actually just came now to Real Madrid. They are not backfilling, for example, that as well. So I don't know how they're gonna end up, because the new teams, because they play a good football, but they get a money to buy new players, versus the ones that just stays above enough, they normally struggle as well next season to make that team stronger. So it's about now these teams, how stronger they get coming from the second league to the first league. So that's the 3. I
just want to ask a question on that. It's interesting that you've chosen the Racing Santander as the one out of those 3 that got promoted, because they were the first ones to get promoted. The other 2 fell below them. So it's interesting that you choose like the one who qualified best out of those 3 to be the one to go back down.
Yeah. Basically, it has a history with it, right? Like Malaga and Deportivo La Coruña, when it comes to when they come up, like it's happened, I think, only twice to Malaga, and I think only once to Deportivo. That straight the next season they went down.
They go straight back down.
Yeah. So they have this history of once they come in, they are there, but as soon as they go down, like example, I think Deportivo La Coruña, they were like 14 seasons, I think now in the second league, where you know even who is Deportivo La Coruña because it's a famous team because they achieve things even on a European stage, but they struggle being there. So I do expect them wanting badly to stay up after 14 years, for example.
They're like the Newcastle of the La Liga.
No, we can say that. Yeah, we can say that. So that's some of the factors why I selected them. Then the Copa del Rey winner is going to be Madrid. Last year it was Real Sociedad. Well, I think Madrid is going to win everything this season. Let's spoil that. So, Spanish Super Cup, Copa del Rey, the League, and the Champions League, which is not there, but I say it. It's quadruple, everything. It's a must. Because of the time, but because it's a must. We are Real Madrid. We cannot be without trophies. So.
Okay, so these are your predictions. These are your predictions, not what you wish would happen.
It's a must. This is must.
I get that.
That's the difference than any other club. It's like it's a must, Bobby.
I get that.
I want it or no.
So your let's say your reality and your fantasy are meeting in this prediction.
Yeah. There is no fantasy. It's a fact. They have to. Bobby, you don't really understand me. There is no option.
That's not what I'm asking. I get as a fan.
There's no fantasy.
I get as a fan that you.
It's not a dream.
This is what I would like to happen.
No.
This is what I would like.
It has to happen.
So for you, there's no I would like to. Or
no.
This can maybe. It's
no.
mashed up into one.
Smashing it big time. Yeah, Bobby.
Perfect. Let's go. What's next? What else have you got?
Pichi is gonna be copy paste. Yeah, the Pichi Trophy is gonna be copy paste. Kylian Mbappe last year, Kylian Mbappe this year. The Golden Gloves, or there as well, they have a name for it. Like it's the Zamora Trophy, which is the Golden Gloves. It's gonna be for me Courtois this season. Last season it was actually Joan Garcia from Barcelona. Fairly so. They had a decent defense when it comes to conceding goals. Our defense is going to be way better this season than last season. That's one thing is a real fact.
Yeah.
Like the way we defended last season and the players we bring in and knowing Mourinho. So having a new front four and just defensive setup and having a goalie as Courtois, we will get the most clean sheets by default. So that's why I choose Courtois for that. But you made the point if he stays fit.
Yeah.
If he stays fit, that's him. Yeah. So Spanish Super Cup winner, I said already. So that's good. Team of the season, maybe that's the last one, is going to be Madrid in this case. If I have to go just as a team.
Yeah. Okay. As you spoke about, me selecting a team of the season, I think let's keep your team of the season that you put together. Let's keep that to discuss when I've got my team of the season ready, if you're okay with that.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to go into players.
Yeah. I think that will make sense that we can.
Yeah.
Because I think for that, I'm going to have to do a little bit more digging.
Yeah, right? That's the most digging you need to do.
That I'm going to have to do a little bit more digging.
Correct.
All right. So it seems like there's a couple of points where we agree, and then there's a couple of points where because we disagreed on one, it's kind of filtered over into other awards, which means we disagreed on a lot, But it's not a point of look at you, it's 51% Madrid and 49% Barcelona. It's you don't have that option of there can be co-winners. There's a winner and there's a loser. If you're not 100%. First, you lost. Yeah, if you're not first, you lost. All right. So that's it for the predictions. Then I think the next section we've still got some time. So let me get into the fantasy Premier League, because I offered the opportunity to us. Well, we said after the way that you enjoyed the World Cup fantasy, it was like a bit of a bug and it bit you. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go along in the fantasy Premier League this season. Guys, the league code is up. I've shared it all on my socials. I will share it here as well. I've shared it on the last episode, so go check our last episode out. It's in the comments. Leave your comments there, likes, leave your opinions, but please be respectful. Yeah. So the code to join is 076 V for Victor, U for Umbrella, A for A.
Anfield.
A for Alpha. Now, we're doing what's it the alphanetics.
Yeah.
Alphabet thing. Yeah. So that's my league. We can discuss if we want to create a league of our own, but I think we can leave it as one league. Yeah. So what I'm going to go through today and share with Ricky is a little bit of the basics that I use to set up my first team, or my team ready for Gameweek 1. Before I start on any of that, there are a couple of resources that I use. Obviously, you've got the Premier League website where it's got all the information that is it's decent amount of information. I mean, when you're selecting your players, you get different drop downs, and which I will show you. But I also use Fantasy Football Scout. As I mentioned on the previous episode, I've got a subscription with them. They've got loads of tools that you can use. Fixture tickers. You can change the ratings depending on what you feel. If you think it's a team is better or worse than what they say, you can change it. You can do forward planning. There's a planner tool, so you can choose players that whatever you want, and then see what they're going to do in game week 2, game week 3, game week 4, right until the end of the season. So you can plan your transfers already, which is really cool. And then livefpl.net. They've got similar features. Some of the features that I use is having a look at all the statistics tables, and also the live updates of your point scoring, which is really cool during the game week. Some of the managers who are a little bit obsessive, like I am, I try not to do this. But after every goal is scored, or after basically any action that impacts the points that are allocated to players, you can see those changing basically live, and also see your rank change live, which is something that, for me, that's my goal at the end of the season. I want to get a certain rank. Even though they've changed the way they look at rank these days, it's more of a percentage base where you end up as a percentage of the total amount of managers. I like to see my physical rank. Like, I want to get that top 100k. That's a big. There's lots of players and lots of the content creators who've achieved way better than that. But for me, I haven't done it yet because of the way that I manage, which is the premise behind the FPL no idea and no AI. Yeah. So I try not to use the AI. So let's get into it. I'm going to have a look. Where are these keys on? Share some of this information for you. The first thing that I want to share with everyone is the fixture ticker. Now, which is something that I think everyone should be using. Here we go. Can you see that? Yeah.
Loading.
So
here you go.
So let me just refresh it, because I've already put some filters on there. So yeah, for those everyone that can see, you've got your teams listed A to Z, but you can change that to who's got the best first run, who's got the toughest run. Rotation I'll get into, because that comes to that. I use it specifically for when I select my goalkeepers, because I'll come back to that. Then you can select the amount of game weeks that you want to see it for. So at the moment it's on 10 game weeks. You can look at it for 16 game weeks, and it shows you, the 16 game week fixture run. 3 game weeks, it gives you a shorter breakdown. Maybe the one thing that is most relevant is I want to see the best run first. So I'm just going to put that in there, and I'm not going to use 10 game weeks. I'm going to use 5 game weeks. It's I think a more condensed bit of information or period over which you can select it. And I use the reason I use 5 is because if you remember, I spoke about this last week. You've got 1 free transfer per week and you can accumulate that. So if I select the optimal squad over 5 weeks, and I don't need to use a transfer in any of those weeks, I can build my transfer up to 5 free transfers, which is kind of like a mini wild card, and you can use those 5 transfers to completely change your team, and you can jump on players that are in form or on a hot streak, etc., etc. And you can also account for injuries and all of those sort of stuff. And also the reason I've put 5 fixtures or 5 game weeks here is that after the 5th game week, we've got our first international break. Now, during the international break, players can get injured, and that's when I intend to play my wild card most of the times. So playing your wild card at the beginning, you can account for any players who possibly get injured while they're on international duty, but also you can kind of play the market. The price changes because of players being sold or players being bought. You can try and increase your total team value by, let's say, buying a player that everyone is going to be jumping on, but you buy that player early, get 2 price rises, but you don't actually really want that player, get 2 price rises or whatever, so that it increases the value of your squad, and then sell them for a player that you actually want. And you've got more money in the bank to buy better players or players of a higher price that maybe you want later on in the season. So that's a way of kind of manipulating things.
Oh, good.
Not to worry about these. I don't really use this and I don't really use this. But I want to go into, because here you can see on top it shows difficulty, but it also shows for each week, it shows clean sheet percentage. So when you are maybe selecting what players or what defenders of yours that you've got in your team, because you've got 5 defenders, right? In your team that you will select. You can play all 5, you can play 4, or you can play 3. But you can see the likelihood of clean sheets for your particular defender by looking at this table. The same way when it comes to your attacking players, midfielders and forwards, projected goals. So you can see which teams each game week has the highest projected goals. Now, this is not essentially the use of AI. It's more of a prediction tool because, like I said, I try to stay away from AI. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just my personal choice. If you want to use AI, please, everybody go ahead. There's a lot of tools out there or AI tools out there where you can use it. But for me, this is kind of information that you can get anywhere. It's not necessarily AI generated. It's just projections. It's just it's based on historical data and statistics based on the team that's playing and the team that they're playing against. What is their defense like? Blah blah blah. The quality of the players, etc., etc. What goes on behind it? I'm not entirely sure. But it gives you. It's pretty accurate information, or it at least can give you some information that you can utilize to then make your decisions and decide who you're going to be playing. Now, I was talking about rotation. And what I want to talk about rotation specifically is based on my selection for goalkeepers. This is where I use the rotation. And you can also use it for defenders when you are choosing cheap defenders to see which 2 cheap defenders or which 2 goalkeepers has the best rotation. So there are two trains of thoughts when it comes to selecting a goalkeeper. Select a goalkeeper one that is expensive, but that you're going to set and forget. So essentially, this is the goalkeeper you're going to play whole season. For example, David Raya, or I think he's probably the best one. Or what's this guy's name that plays for United? Or the city goalkeeper. So you get you a solid goalkeeper, but they're going to cost you money, and then you get a 4 million goalkeeper that you just leave on the bench and you're never ever going to play. The risk of that is what if your main goalkeeper gets injured? Then you kind of screwed, right? But in any case, goalkeepers generally don't make up a big proportion of, or they don't highly contribute to the points that your team scores. So there's a second train of thought where you use two medium or low priced goalkeepers where they might not get points for clean sheets, but they make a lot of saves. So the defense of their team is not necessarily great, which forces them to have to make saves because a lot of shots are coming towards them. And in this instance, Brighton has got a goalkeeper for Bruggen at 4.5. So if I select for the first game weeks, I've selected Brighton, and I've selected 5 game weeks. These are the goalkeepers that, hold on, let's do it like that. Here we go. Actually, so now it shows Man United is the one that, are they the ones that, let me just change this and then change it again. Okay, so essentially the Man United goalkeeper is the one who rotates the best with the Brighton goalkeeper for the first game weeks. But Man United's goalkeeper is 5 million. For me, that's a little bit too expensive. Liverpool's goalkeeper, too expensive. Crystal Palace, Henderson, also 5 million. Aston Villa's Martinez, also pretty expensive. I go down and there's not much in the top half, right? Where there's a goalkeeper that's 4.5 million that I can choose to partner with him. So when it comes to the goalkeeper, in any case, if I'm going to be doing the wild card come game week 5, does that mean that I need to change my goalkeeper? Probably not. So what I'll do is instead of doing 5 game weeks, I'll do maximum 16 game weeks. And now we're getting a better picture of selecting 2 players, which are the goalkeepers, for basically the first half of the season, where they can rotate nicely and where one goalkeeper has a good game, the other goalkeeper has a bad game, so you can bench them. And right on top, you get Tottenham. And by the way, Tottenham has got a 4.5 goalkeeper in Kinski, and I've seen a little bit of him at the beginning of the season. Doesn't look too bad.
Not that guys.
Saying Tottenham,
Kinski.
He's the starting goalkeeper.
They're selling Vicario, Vicario is gone.
Vicario is gone,
Kinski is going to be the first goalie of Tottenham next season. Wow.
Yeah. And as much as I say Tottenham, and I think, what are you doing? They're going to concede shots. And that is the reason why I'm picking these goalkeepers. Not because they're going to keep me clean sheets. Because yes, the clean sheets are going to score you points. But the points that they will accumulate because of saves will level out or maybe even exceed the amount of clean sheets that a goalkeeper like, let's say, David Raya, who's going to cost you 6 million, that he's going to score over the entire season. Right? So you might have half the amount of, because David Raya is not going to get save points. Because how many shots are they going to take at a player like David Raya? So just to let you know on that aspect, that's what I've used the Fantasy Football Scouts for. And then they've got this draft tool where you can you can select all your whatever goal or whatever players you want. And here you can, once you've selected, let's see if I can do an auto pick. This is do an auto pick. See, normally I use this on my phone. Yeah. Where do I go? Do you see we are skipped to the next game week?
No, I see.
No, I don't. I don't see it. Okay, if I save it, let's see if I click save. Come on. Nah. Okay. I'm not signed into this, but anyway, the point of this is you can select all your whatever players you want to, and you can go through the different game weeks, game week 2, game week 3, and see what transfers you can make. I will touch more on this later, but just to show you the interface and the platform that we use for this. Oh, you can't see it. Damn.
No, I just see the FPL. That's what I'm saying.
You
I see
can't see it.
FPL fixture ticket.
Okay. So don't worry about that. Let me get you something different here, because now I want to take you to the one that everyone uses, and this is now you get a bit of a look into my first draft. Yeah, this is my first team. But this is how you will select your players. You can take a player out. Yeah, on the right, you've got all your different filters, all players, goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and or you can select any team. And we'll give you a list of who to pick from. But also, when you have a list of players to pick from, you can filter them again by who scored the most points last season, or who scored the most points up until this point. You can select. You can filter them by price, the amount of managers that are selecting them, so the percentage that they are owned. What I like to look for different positions, clean sheets is a good filter to use, obviously, for your defenders and your goalkeepers. We've got form, which is something that I use, so you can see who's the most informed player out of, let's say, the goalkeepers or your midfielders. ICT index, that's something very intricate. I'm not going to go into much of that. Who's transferred in? One of the big things here, let me see, defensive contributions. This is something, Ricky, that you'll probably want to take into account at some point, specifically when selecting your midfield. Because there are some cheap enablers in the midfield that will allow you to pick bigger or more expensive players in your attack or even in your defense. And then if you've got a certain amount, if there's a certain value of player that you're looking for, and let me actually go to midfielders. Goalkeepers are pretty important, right? So if you're looking for a midfielder that gives you points for defensive contributions, for example, and you're looking for someone below 7 million, now use that filter and you can get the list of players that you're looking for. So a lot of information and a lot of ways to filter. I do advise or suggest that to everyone that's going to be using that and doing and playing the game, play around with that. Get into selecting draft teams now. It can get a little crazy because you've got different sets of information coming through daily. New transfers in, players getting injured because of preseason, players getting sold, players going out on loan, etc., etc., etc. The nice thing or the key thing that I look at is who are my non-negotiables. So who are the players that I want in my team and build the rest of the squad around that. So I don't know who I want in all 15 positions, right? I know that I want Haaland. Haaland is a non-negotiable for me. Bruno was a non-negotiable. Actually, Haaland also was both of them were non-negotiables. But now I'm looking at chip strategies as well, which gives a whole other flavor to your thought process. But you've got your main point scorers in defense. You've got Gabriel, who's a massive 8 million this season, and for me, I can find an attack of 8 million that will probably outscore Gabriel as a defender. Or in the midfield, I can get an 8 million midfielder. Another thing you look at is who takes penalties. You want penalty takers and set piece takers in your team, because that's how you earn points.
Yeah.
Players that take set pieces, corners, free kicks, etc. They'll score from a free kick, or they'll get assists from the free kick or from the corners. So that's increasing your chances of scoring points. As is if you get a penalty taker, someone like was it Igor Jesus, or who was it last season that was just scoring
in
penalties? Yeah, was it? Yeah,
I think Igor. Yeah, I think so.
And he's got like 10 penalties, and he scored other goals from open play. But if you had him in your team for him doing nothing, he just you got all those points from penalties. So so many different elements, so many different aspects to take into account. I'm trying to break it down as easily and as simply as possible. There's actually a couple of things that I wanted to still talk about today, but I think that's it. That's enough for now. There is such a thing as information overload. So what I've shared with you now, Ricky, I think you can go back. You got some homework.
Yeah, some
Look at that.
homework. Seriously.
Look at that. Giving Ricky some homework. Put together your first the first draft.
Yeah, I need to work on first draft.
And then next week when we're gonna do another recording this week. But then next week when we do another recording, our following recording. So actually it'll be the 20th episode. So on episode 20, we will see Ricky's team, we will see Bobby's team. And I think we can have some fun discussions about it. You can pick apart my team, and I'll pick apart your team, and doesn't mean that that is going to change anything. Right?
Yeah, it's just exchange of opinions, basically.
Yeah, because my opinion might not mean that Ricky is going to enjoy the game.
Yeah,
and Ricky's opinion on what maybe he would do for my team, that's maybe not going to make me enjoy the game, because if I could, I would have 3 Liverpool players in my team straight away, immediately, because that would be fun. That would be fun for me. But is that the optimal way to play? Probably not. Anyway,
probably not.
Anything from your side, Ricky, on that? There was a lot of stuff that I shared.
Yeah, but nice homework, some nice takeaways, especially on a goalie. That was interesting. You made me laugh as well a bit, so it was good on Kinski. Well, maybe why? Because the only game I saw Kinski, he was against Atletico Madrid. So it's interesting that it seems like he's doing well on others and just all these other statistics that I would not think of. So no, this was great, and some good pointers on how I'm going to set up actually my first drafts, how I'm going to look about it, especially in the goalies, because I like what you said about that even the best goalie doesn't make a huge difference of point taking, right? So I'd rather save that money and top it up on a midfielder or an attacker that I know they're going to bring me some good pointers and they can really impact the team and the overall point score. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So for the next the episode where we show our teams, I'm going to be bringing my crystal ball. I'm going to be bringing my crystal ball, my gypsy crystal ball, so because I see the future, so I can see into the future and see what Ricky's team is going to look like in the future. If it's going to be good enough or not. Let me bring that crystal ball. Let me shine it up. And maybe I'll dress the part as well. I'll maybe have some gold earrings and a thing over my head.
I want to see that.
Dress up like a real gypsy, right? Like a real gypsy.
Yeah.
But I will not go outside, because then the people. Is it gonna make a difference how they look at me? Is it gonna make a difference?
Well, you will get a bit more ahoy.
But yeah, I enjoyed giving that bit of a breakdown.
This was nice.
I want to go in maybe a bit more in depth, because it's extremely nuanced. And look, I've been playing for over 10 years, right? I've been playing fantasy football for over 10 years. So it comes with a lot of experience, and I don't think I would recognize myself from the first season that I played. There's a lot of information that was always there, but there's also a lot that you learn as you go along. It's the natural course. But anyway, I'm quite excited to.
You saw that?
To take Ricky's team and rip it apart, mash it up.
Wait. You may get surprised. Wait. Hold your horses till you see.
By the way, the team that you saw, the team that everyone saw on screen when I shared it, that was my first draft. I've had at least 10 drafts since then. So there's a lot that has changed, and there's a lot of talk about early chip use in FPL, maybe even a bench boost in Gameweek 1. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, I think that's the end of episode 18. We've really gone
It
on
is.
quite a bit. We covered quite a bit. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. It was nice. Learning more on fantasy. This was good.
Yeah. You see, this is where I can use that data. I can't use this data to predict player of the season, but I can use it to predict who I can set up my fantasy team. So next episode, there's going to be probably based on this weekend past, there's going to be a lot of transfer news.
Yeah, a lot of updates.
We're expecting a lot of transfer news, and there's going to be some. I don't know if you guys play any more preseason. I know
in the weekend, actually, after us talking.
Yeah. I think also for us. So we'll bring you a lot of the transfer news. Let's see if Ricky can share by then maybe some updates on his fantasy team. We can just take a sneak peek before we rip it apart in the episode after that. So until then, thank you everyone again for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah. Send us your comments. Send us some ideas. If there's things that you'd like us to talk about, send it over. I'm not going to be doing a team of the season and doing those predictions for Serie A, Bundesliga. Please don't send that. Let me save you guys some trouble. That's not going to happen. But yeah, we'd be keen to hear from all of you.
Absolutely. Well, guys, till we match up again.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye, guys.